Hello, everybody. This is Rebecca Jane from yogawithrebeccajane.com. Welcome to this 30-minute practice. This class is a full body mobility flow. And every time I say mobility, I'm thinking, oh, it doesn't sound like fun. It's like, oh, this sounds like a great class. It is actually a wonderful class. I feel so good after I taught the previous class. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you go into child's pose now. I'm going to sit here for a moment as I speak. So I want you to, but actually before you even go into child's pose, you're going to need, some of us may need 2 blocks, but definitely 1, and I'll show you in a moment when we're going to be using the 1 block, but just have them near you. That's it. Now go into child's pose and just get yourself settled for a moment. Kind of wiggle around, do your thing, fidget until you're in a comfortable place. So as you're settling into your child's pose, I want to explain the difference between flexibility and mobility, because they feel like they're almost identical, or they could be synonyms. Flexibility is when you're holding, usually, typically, it's holding a stretch. It's stretching out the muscles, the fascia. So that increases the flexibility of your muscles, your body. Mobility is when you're exploring the range of motion. So you're enhancing the range of motion in your joints, in your hips, in your shoulders, in your back, in your neck. So it's actually, if you think about it, it's more of an active stretch, if you're going to call it a stretch, or rather than a passive. Passive is when you hold. So the difference is that in order to become more mobile, we have to do more rocks and sways and things like that. And as we go through the class, you'll see. And what you're doing is doing it very gently. Because if you do anything too forcefully on tendons, which can only stretch about 2%, as opposed to, I think, the muscles can stretch up to, I think, I'm gonna make up a number, but it's like 60, 70%. I think it's even higher than that. And then the fascia, even at some fascia can even go further, or it's less. But the tendons and the joints, we have to be so careful, okay? But yet we need to, in order to do the mobility, we have to, to improve our mobility, we have to kind of gently move them slowly. So I'm going to come into the child's pose, join you. Have also a blanket handy for your knees. You might need them for later, or something to wrap up place underneath your knees. And stretch the hands forward if they're not already. And you can curl toes under if you'd like to get a little bit more of stretch in the soles of the feet. And come onto the fingertips. And from here, there's a little bit of rocking back and forth. It's so tiny, you barely can feel it. And just start to move a little bit. And then flatten out those hands. Come on to hands and knees. And from here, we're going to work on our wrists with our fingers pointing forward, so the traditional all fours shape. But we're going to just circle clockwise, or go start to the right, just the wrists or the arms, the shoulders. And take this, be careful, don't go too fast, you don't need to. And then let's reverse those circles. And then come back come back to neutral again, or stillness. And we're going to simply take the fingers and spin them outward with the heel of the hands facing each other. Open the hands a little bit wider than you would with the fingers forward. Do the same thing, circling clockwise. So you can feel it in your shoulders and your wrists. And then let's reverse those circles. And even in your knees. I'm ignoring my knees, but obviously we have to use our knees to circle. And then let's bring the fingers now, place the fingers so that they're pointing towards your knees. We're not going to circle this time. We're just going to gently, you can even curl the toes under here, is sit back. You're hardly going to move here. And then forward. Little gentle rocks. Be careful here. Remember, there's only a tiny percentage of stretching of joints, of tendons, and we don't want to harm and overstretch a joint or a tendon. And they're all obviously attached. And then let's just come sit on our heels for a moment. Let's do some circles of the wrists with the hands open. And we'll do another type of stretch in a moment. So this is mobility. We're moving our wrists. We're not just holding and stretching. We're circling them. Let's come back up to all fours. We're going to do something unusual. You're going to spin the palms up. So I'll show you. As if you're carrying something with those hands. Press into the back of those hands, and we're going to do some cats and cows here. So what this would entail is you bend the elbows and you arch the back. And then you push up, straighten the arms, and round the back. So make sure you're not putting too much weight on those arms. I want you to really concentrate on, using the rest of your body, especially the core, to take up some of the weight of your body, so it's not being dumped on your wrists. And then gently sit back. And this time we make fists with our hands. I'll turn around to face you and make those circles with the fists. And then from here, another interesting stretch. Keep the right hand as a fist. Take the left hand, just place it on top. And I want you to gently pull the right wrist towards, so you want to bend that right wrist. Pull with that left hand so you get all the way down, not only the wrist, but also all the way in that area that causes problems with our, when we type a lot. And then release that, and just with the right hand, flatten it out and pull the fingers towards you. And release. Let's do the same thing with this hand. Left hand fist, right hand on the fist, pull it inward. I'm really liking this. This is a good one to do after we've done our weight training. And then take your hands, the left hand, flatten it out, fingers pointing down, and pull the fingers towards you. Take a breath in, take a breath out, and then just gently shake, shake. And then come to all fours. Curling toes under, take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, press up, downward facing dog. From here, I want us to bend our knees. So walk your hands a little further forward and just bend them as if you're just about to touch the ground. And maybe you can even tap if you'd like, and then re-straighten. And then bend. Exhale. And then straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. And then straighten. Keep the straight legs. Do a few little pedals of the feet, getting into those feet, into the ankles. Toes. Think about stretching all these active stretches for these
for our legs and our feet and our knees. And then we're going to come back to stillness, and we're going to inhale into a plank. And you're going to pause in plank, do a few little, and then I want you to drop your right knee down and then lift back up. Left knee down, lift up. So this is a strength as well as a little mobility for the knee. Left knee down, tap, straighten. Right knee down, tap, straighten. Left knee down, tap, straighten. So it's just tapping. One more time, left knee down. Lift back up, lower the knees down. Come all the way down onto your tummies. And I'm going to swing around so you can see what I'll do from the front version of this rather than the side. You're going to come all the way down to the ground, bring your arms next to your sides, and you're just lifting up through the chest. The toes are pressing down into the ground. Rotate those knees down, and you're going to bring your arms out to the sides and then forward like super people. And then bend the elbows and then re-straighten the arms next to your sides. So you're drawing a circle. Arms out to the side, forward. Bend the elbows, straighten the arms next to your sides. Reach the arms out to the sides, breathing in. Bend the elbows. It's like you're swimming. Bring the hands underneath your shoulders. Lift back up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Do a few petals of the feet again. Sway the hips, get into the shoulders. Shake your head no, shake your head yes. And then from here, take a little walk to the middle of your mat. Turn to either long end of the mat. So whatever side works better for you to be able to see me, because we're only staying on one side. And then let's come into a forward bend. Opposite hand, opposite elbow, soften those knees, bend the knees, whatever feels good. And I want you to do a few little sways. So these sways are this active stretching, this mobility work. And you can go into it, you can make it a little bit deeper, a little bit more of a dancey movement. And then gently just straighten, fingertips on the ground, just straighten the legs for a moment. And then we're going to come into Malasana, but with a block. Even if you can do Malasana comfortably, I want you to sit on a block. Just that, again, if you find, and flatten out those feet. Now I want you to squeeze the legs into the upper arms, hands to heart. So you're creating this resistance as if you have a band or a elastic band or one of those. I have them here. Anyway, I'll talk about it next week. But I want you to press into the inner thighs as you press the legs into the arms. And from here, I want you to take your knees, pull them away, and then push them in. Just like butterfly legs. You could do this if you're finding it's too easy on the block. But I want you to try it on the block first for safety reasons and because we're going to do something else in a moment. So open and close. So it's like you're just pressing and pulling away, pressing and pulling. So you could feel that on your hips. You could feel it inside legs. And then let's come back to stillness. So from here, you're going to open the legs a little wider, sit down on that block, and you're going to bring your left knee inward. You might not go far. And then let's go to the other side. You could have your hands on the ground or just together in front of you. And we're just going to do a few of these. Now the teacher that was doing this did this without sitting on a block, and I just found it way too much. Couldn't do it. So I'm kind of assuming it's hard for everyone. It might not be. But I thought it was something we could work on slowly, but with the support of the block. And then come back back to neutral. Just let your arms drape over those legs for a moment. Just sit up nice and tall.
It's like you're thinking. And then gently take a deep breath in and breathe out. Lift up. Move the block away. And then widen the feet so they're now pretty wide on the mat. Turn the toes slightly in, heels out, and let's fold forward. Let the head drop. Now we're doing a full stretch. Just a regular stretch, stretching out the backs of those legs, breathing in, breathing out. Flexibility. And we're going to go into mobility now. We're going to turn the toes slightly out, and we're going to go from side to side, Skandasana. Gentle sways from side to side. And that's gently come back to center. Heel toe those feet a little bit closer. Turn the heels in, toes out. Lift all the way up to standing. Roll yourself up. Straighten the legs for a moment. So you're in this horse stance. You could wiggle the hips from side to side, loosen up. And then sit back, sit into your squat. Hands on the thighs. Lean forward. And we're going to just do some gentle up and down movements. So you're going to lift and lower. Make sure you're leaning slightly forward. Your back is strong and long. So you're not sitting up tall. I suppose either way it's not. But this is safer for your back. And then let's gently lift yourself up. And let's turn your right toe, whatever toes are pointing to the front of the mat, step forward. Reach the arms up to the sky. Exhaling, forward fold. Oh, step back, downward facing dog. Let's inhale into plank. And you could do this on forearms or straight arms. We're going to rock forward and backwards in our plank. So you're going to roll onto your toes, and now your chest is beyond almost right above your hands, your fingers, or in the middle, but right next to your fingers, and then roll back. So you're rocking back and forth. You can do this with your knees down if you'd like. Have the knees, but behind your hips, and you can rock forward and backward. Good for wrists, good for the toes, strengthening the core. Then lowering the knees to the ground. Just take a moment here, sit back into child's pose. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Let's inhale, come to all fours. You can have a blanket for your knees for our next sequence. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg reaches to the sky. Woo. Open up that right hip. Bring your right heel towards your left bottom cheek. And let's straighten the right leg and then bend. So your hip is open. So you're bending and straightening. And then re-straighten the legs, square the hips to the ground, step right foot to right thumb. You're in a lunge. Lower your left knee down. Coming nice and tall, hands on thighs. Sit up tall and lean towards the front leg. Now that right knee can go beyond the ankle. And then you could lift up, and then you're going to lift up just a touch and then bend. So it's this rocking backwards and forwards. Gentle movement. Hydrating our joints as well, lubricating them. One more time. And then we're going to stay in this lunge, and you have an option of left hand on your lower back and lean back towards your left leg, or lift your left leg up. Grab hold of that foot. You might get a cramp in your...
I got a cramp earlier in my hamstring. And draw that heel towards you. Hold, stretch, breathing in and breathing out. And lower that left foot down. Bring your hands inside your right foot. Heel toe that right foot out to the right. Either parallel the foot so the outer edge is in line with the outer edge of the mat, or turn the toe slightly out on a diagonal. It really off the mat. Depends on the flexibility in your hip. Fingers on the ground. We're going to do just a few little rocks forward and backwards, just tiny, hardly moving here. And then come onto your forearms, and this is where you might want your blocks to place your forearms on. And we're going to interlace the hands, and we're going to do a few little cats and cows here. Even though you're not going to move hardly, it's such a micro movement that you can hardly feel it. Little cats and cows. Inhaling, exhaling. And then gently walking your hands back up. And then walk your right leg in until you're in a pigeon pose with the right leg as the bent knee. Left leg behind you. Walk your left leg over to the right. Come onto those fingertips. Let's do a deeper cat and cow here. Bend the elbows out to the sides and lift back up. Come on. You can do this on your fingertips or on a blocks. Lower down, lift up. So you can feel the back working, the hips, because you're moving here. You're not just holding a stretch. And then we're going to come all the way down. This time we hold the stretch, passive stretch. You could bring your palms together. Just keep your head above your hands. Just stay here for a moment, breathing in and breathing out. And then gently walk your hands back up. Curl the back toes under, step back, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. And then this time left leg lifts to the sky. Open your left hip, bend your left knee. And then straighten that left leg and bend. Another 2 sets, straighten and bend. And straighten and bend. And then square that left hip to the ground, step left foot to left thumb. Lower right knee to the ground, low lunge. Come all the way up nice and tall. So this class is not like a dancey, flowy class that I often do on Fridays. It's a little bit more staccato. It's not as fluid. Bring your hands to your thighs because we're trying to really focus on how to do different types of mobility flows or exercises. I want you to come into your lunge and then just come up a little bit. So go deep into this lunge. If you have knee issues, then you don't go beyond the ankle. If you're okay with your knee, you can go beyond the ankle for this lunge. Lift and lower. Just tiny, tiny movements here. We often think big is more important. And then the next time we lunge, stay. You can either put your right hand on your lower back and lean back, or pick up your right leg, right foot. Grab hold of that foot. And you're not on the kneecap, you're actually above the kneecap. And pull the foot into your bottom cheek and go get a nice stretch in, especially that right quad. And breathe in. Saturate your body with your oxygen. And then lower that right foot down. Bring your hands inside your left foot. Heel toe that left foot either on the edge of the mat or turn it out. Hands or arms are straight. Let's do a few micro cats and cows here. You can come onto fingertips if you like, strengthening those fingers, those wrists. And then come on down to your forearms. Actually, I did that wrong, but it's okay. We'll do another cat and cow here on our forearms. This is where it's really micro. Oh. And then gently walk your hands back up. Slide your right leg back, left leg. Come into your pigeon pose. A little bit not too smooth transition for most of us from that. And then right leg to the left a little bit, hands on the ground, come onto the fingertips. Now we're going to those deeper cat and cows. So you can feel the left hip joint working, your spine, your vertebra, your shoulders, your neck. And then gently, the next time you come down onto forearms, either on blocks or on the ground, and just bring your palms together. And take an inhale. And exhale. That feels nice. Oh, you might feel your hips if you don't already. Come, and then roll onto your left hip, swing your legs forward. Take your hands behind your knees, bent knees. Just take a pause, breathe in, and then release the hands from the knees. And I want you to ease yourself down into your back. Pull the tummy muscles in. So think about how each vertebra, like a string of pearls, will touch down. Keep your chin tucked till the very last moment. And once the back of the head touches down, stretch through the arms, stretch through the legs. Flex those feet, toes pointing up, and lift the heels off the ground for a moment so you get a nice stretch through the back body. Hug your knees into your chest. Do a few rocks from side to side. So this is mobility right here. Just those rocks. And then take your hands on your knees and that circle. Start in the direction that is your go-to. And then we'll just reverse in a moment. So when you do pure mobility throughout the class, your body feels different. It's just like a Dao Yin, Tai Chi type class. Your body there's a tingling in the body. Bring the left leg to the left corner, right to the right. You could feel your whole body alive, energized. It just feels so good. Let yourself settle into, take a deep breath in, and as you breathe in, let the lower back arch. Exaggerate that arch. And then as you exhale, let that lower back melt. So feel it start to disappear into the mat. So it's no longer there's a space between mat and lower back. Chin is slightly tucked, the shoulder blades are sliding down your back. Settle into Shavasana. Rest. And you might actually feel the legs tingling. I don't know if you do. I do, because we've just done a lot of leg work. Or there's this vibration. And I want you to stay
recommend staying in the Shavasana for a little bit longer on a Friday, extra long on a Friday. And then start your day. So mobility and flexibility, in yoga we do both all the time without using those words to describe it. But the difference is when we talk about flexibility, it's about stretching, taking our muscles to a much deeper point of flexibility, fascia, which includes fascia. With mobility, it's increasing our range of movement. So that all goes hand in hand, but the mobility part is often neglected in many forms of exercise. The tiny, tiny rocks. Things that are so important for us to feel, maintain our youthfulness, our childlike spirit. So our child self has a place to be childlike, if that makes any sense. And as I bring my hands in front of my heart to seal this practice, I hope you enjoyed it. It was great fun. And if you enjoy it, subscribe, thumbs up. Namaste, everyone.